said, and I quote him, to me, the thing that is worse than death is betrayal.
Yep.
And another guy said, he has learned to hate all traitors. And there is no disease that he spits on more than deceit. Beautiful, eh?
Yes.
Wonderful. Deceiving someone, uncle. Deceiving someone or deceiving a nation is the worst disease on earth. Let me repeat. Let me repeat what I told you guys on Wednesday program. The gun robbery committed on Kaieteur News did not affect me 1% as much as the crimes being committed on this country and its people by the oil companies and our politicians on a daily basis. And that's from my heart. That's how I feel. It is too much to bear what's happening in this land. Uncle, Auntie, Namaste. At the end of my program, I will play a tape for all of you to listen to. It is extremely important for your ears. It's very sad and troubling that a young husband could set his 20-year-old wife on fire over a board cage. That's all I will tell you for now. The rest will come at the end of the program. So, with that, I say let's get on with the program. Tonight's program. Our Vice President Jagdeo, Opposition Leader Norton, and the rest of the politicians believe that what those African and Asian bourgeois leaders did to their countries and their citizens, yes, what they did with the wealth and get away with scotch-free, our bourgeois leaders think they can do the same thing here. Yes, and be untouched. Uncle, almost all the African and Asian leaders, you just name them, sold out their people's resources to the foreigners for their personal benefits and left their countries in total ruin, with the people, with hundreds of millions of people struggling to grow through life, eating one meal a day, pong cassava. I want all of them to know, all our politicians to know, this time na long time. Long time had donkey carts, paddle boats, and darkness, and people had to take whatever their leaders put to them. Today's world is totally different with airlines and modern technology. Today's world, we can see and know instantly in real time what's taking place everywhere on earth. That is what this new world has turned into in which we live. Tables turned, bridges burned, and we have learned. They have pulled wool over our eyes for too long in everything they did. It's time we say enough is enough, not anymore.
Really?
We should not allow the corruption, stubbornness, and mismanagement of these corrupt politicians to continue to mislead us. No, we should not. We should not allow them to impoverish us and get away with it for their selfish and greedy nature. Wednesday, I promised to talk about this most important issue of renegotiation of the 2016 oil contract. With this present structure, uncle, we are staring at a lifetime of poverty for generations to come. The oil companies and the politicians, along with just a tiny few of Guyanese, will benefit from everything in this oil sector if we don't. And let me repeat this. If we don't stand up and get this contract renegotiated or changed. We at this newspaper and on this program, since the contract was made public about 4 years now, has been pressing to have this lopsided, this criminally unfair contract changed. You guys would have seen the stance the political parties had when we started talking and pushing for renegotiation. I don't have to remind you guys of that. Now, they are coming to grips, catching themselves, coming to their senses. Now they are seeing the dangers that lies ahead with this criminal contract they signed. The AFC is now calling for a renegotiation. 2 days ago, the PNC jumped on board and said the contract can be changed. It's a new song they're singing now. Civil society groups and activists, along with professionals and foreign oil experts, have joined the call to change this contract. And I am so happy.
Absolutely.
I am very happy. Yes. I must tell you guys, uncle, I must say I am personally happy and pleased that the political parties, civic groups have come out in support of renegotiation. But I am extremely delighted of the man in the streets. Yes, the man in the streets who are talking about renegotiation all over, so that everybody can get their rightful share, uncle and auntie. I am so happy about that. As it stands now, it's only the government, yes, it's only the government voice on changing this contract is missing. Hear me, Bernard?
Yep.
Only the government voice on this contract is missing. This is where President Ali, and more importantly, Vice President Jagdeo, can prove to us where they stand on this life and death matter of renegotiation. I hate to keep repeating this. I don't like to. This contract has room, uncle, for renegotiation. That's one. Two, people with love and wisdom as to what we should do have been sharing their expertise to tell us why, when, and how we should go about renegotiating this contract. Hear that, Bernard? I'm so happy.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Well past that.
Yeah, man. For example, we have Dr. Vivian Williams, a Guyanese lawyer living in New York, told the Kaieteur News 2 Sundays ago that both governments misapplied the sanctity of contract doctrine. Yes. They misapplied the sanctity of contract doctrine to avoid acting in the nation's best interests. Hear that? The lawyer explained what sanctity of contract means. The guy said, it is an agreement made freely, knowingly, and fairly by competent parties. You hear that, Bernard?
Yep.
An agreement made freely, knowingly, and fairly by competent parties, the man said. He said if that was the case, then any contract should be kept.
Definitely.
Yes. Now, can anyone tell us if the agreement was made freely? Huh? Freely? Raphael Trotman said he was instructed and directed to sign that contract.
Never said who.
So, was that freely?
Of course not.
Huh? Jagdeo himself said the contract was prepared by ExxonMobil and given to Trotman to sign, and he signed it. Was that done freely?
Hell no.
Huh? Sanctity of contract still applies here, man.
Not the criminal contract.
A man pressure you to sign a document that only he knows all the ins and outs of what the document means, in which he take full advantage of you. How can that ever be free, man? Hmm? And why we shouldn't renegotiate it? We are not handcuffed to the contract, uncle.
Hell no.
So what is preventing Vice President Jagdeo for calling for a change? Huh? As he himself knows very well, the contract didn't bind us for life. It has room for change.
Like all contracts.
Yeah, man. Why we are not hearing a word from him or from President Ali? The second question concerns knowingly. Did Guyana know anything other than Exxon said them find oil in Guyana?
Nope.
Did Guyana know anything it needed to know? Needed to know about the oil industry before that contract was signed?
No.
Clearly we didn't know 1% of anything in the oil industry. Nothing we knew. Trinidad only found out 3 years ago, after 100 years in the petroleum business, that the oil company BP was robbing them $2 billion a year. Uncle and auntie, the oil business is so complicated that my Trini friend, God bless his soul, who worked in the industry for 36 years, said to me, Glenn, there are 1 million ways the oil companies can rob you blind. I never ever forget that. And it took him 36 years working in the system to know that. And he said he still doesn't know it all. Hear that? So what did Trotman and Guyana know when that deal was signed? Nothing. Should we still stick with sanctity of contract?
Hell no.
When we sign something we know nothing about? Or should we renegotiate it, man?
Renegotiate.
You will sign on the duress.
We are not chained to the contract. So what is preventing Jagdeo and Ali from calling for a change? As I said, he himself very well know the contract didn't bind us for life. It has room for change. There's a clause in there that speaks of renegotiation.
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
The third question the New York lawyer asked whether the contract was renegotiated fairly. Fairly, uncle. If both of us get our fair share, that is what the lawyer is saying. one man getting 98% and the other one getting 2%. Find any contract, uncle, any oil contract or non-oil contract on earth and show us 2% royalty one party get. Show us that. You know of any, Bernard?
Not at all.
There's no contract of this nature, brother.
None.
None, not one.
No way.
Not one.
The only one is the
Take out oil, there's no contract for any other minerals on earth.
Definitely.
That any party get 98 and one get 2. Huh? Is that fair play? Find a contract and show us that they have a profit sharing agreement in which 75% coming out at the top, up front, before profit is being shared 50-50 between two parties, man. You know of any?
None.
Can ExxonMobil or Barrett Jagdeo or anybody on earth show us a contract that is so fair that everything goes to one side and the other side gets nothing, man? Huh?
None.
Come on. Isn't this lawyer in perfect order to point out this fraud that doesn't have an equal anywhere in this world? Am I not?
Not at all.
No one should even begin to talk about fair play when you have a contract so riddled with fraud. Wait, man. Isn't it time that this contract be scrapped?
Past time.
And we start all over with a brand new agreement that is really, or that would really be signed freely, knowingly, and fairly. Huh?
Definitely.
What Jack they waiting for? This man should not wait a second more. We should have this contract renegotiate now. Now. The fourth question the lawyer asked, was the agreement signed by competent people?
Competent.
Huh? Competent people, uncle. Clearly, Raphael Trotman did not have the level of competency needed at the time when he signed the contract. And similarly, those people who instructed him to sign the contract also did not have the competence needed to guide and direct Trotman to sign that contract. The whole world, uncle, knows that ExxonMobil is a criminal organization. That they have taken advantage. They have robbed, raped, and sodomized many countries, including their own mother country, America. That's what they did. How can we continue a second more, Bernard, with what clearly was a crime committed against every Guyanese in this nation by ExxonMobil? Tell me something, man. Danny?
no shame.
Today, we are being enlightened some more by this Guyanese lawyer, Dr. Williams, in which he said, it sends the wrong signal to investors that the government is willing to roll over and accept unscrupulous behavior from investors. You hear that? You hear how the man put it?
Wonderful description.
Let me tell you back what Dr. Williams said, man. Yeah? It sends the wrong signal to investors that the government is willing to roll over and accept unscrupulous behavior from investors. is ExxonMobil crookishness the man talking about. So whoever telling you that sanctity of contract is applied is also equally aiding and abetting criminality in all of us. No one should tell us anything anymore about sanctity of contract, uncle. Let us nail a pale and stave in the heart of sanctity of contract. It doesn't exist. It doesn't apply. It dead. The agreement was not made freely, uncle. The agreement had anything to do with knowingly and fairly by competent people. It was not. So we have to change that contract. I am so happy that we are seeing the AFC and the PNC parties, civil society groups, and the man in the streets are all saying it is time. It is time to renegotiate this unfair, one-sided and fraudulent contract. Nobody can be more happy than Glenn Lall. What do you say, man? Bernard? What do you say, Doggers?
Definitely.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Or you want to hear more, uncle? I'll give you some more. Let me give you a little more as to why this crime of the century committed on this nation with a contract. Let me tell you why it should be buried in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, that we should never hear another word about sanctity of contract. Like Vivian Williams, another Guyanese, Dr. Vincent Adams, is also enlightening us as to why this contract must be renegotiated. Dr. Adams, who worked in the oil sector at the highest level in the United States government. You hear that, brother? Let me repeat it. The man worked at the highest level in the U.S. government in the oil sector. He was here in Guyana, heading the EPA. This is the man, uncle, who opened the eyes of the Guyanese people, including me, regarding the dangers that lies ahead in the oil sector. He is the man who demanded that ExxonMobil parent company sign a guarantee to take and to cover all costs of an oil spill if the insurance company money cannot or insufficient. Yes, that's what he put in writing and asked them to sign. He is now, until now, Jagdeo or the EPA has not gotten that document signed. He is now telling us, uncle, to take a close look at the massive difference in oil Guyana has today as against the oil we had when the contract was signed in 2016. The man reminded us that when Raphael Trotman signed the contract in 2016, uncle, ExxonMobil had only reported that they find 1 billion barrel of oil. Since then to now, Exxon discovered 10 billion barrels more.
And then some.
You hear that, man? Since then to now, since the contract signed to now, they find 10,000 barrels, 10 billion barrels more. That is 1,000% more oil they find, uncle. Just to make sure you understand, uncle, 10 times more oil ExxonMobil find in this country since 2016. So Vincent Adams is asking, Glenn Lall and his staff are asking, and I believe every Guyanese is asking, why this criminal contract should not be changed. Ray, can you help me? Why? When you sign the contract, you sign on 1 billion barrel. From then to now, 10 billion barrels signed. Come on, man.
Gotta give.
Come
Something
on.
gotta give.
You sign a contract with one mango tree and you know you get robbed. You know your family being treated. Your family future in jeopardy. And then you find 10 more mango trees in the farm with more beautiful and sweet mangoes. You allowing that man for touch any one of them mango tree without talking to you about more money, man? Eh?
Never.
Eh?
Never.
We have to tell Jagdeo and Ali that they have to get a better deal from the 10 billion barrel more oil discovered, uncle. Man, not even a child, a clown, or a madman with one side brain would leave that agreement as it is. Huh? Uncle, to leave it alone, politicians should spend the rest of their lives in jail with no food and without them going to court. Yeah, man. Yes. To leave that alone without getting a better deal, they should go to prison without trial.
Book 'em. No food.
Uncle, now you have heard all of this. What is holding back Jagdeo? President Ali and the opposition leader Norton. The road is clear. Everybody is on their side for renegotiation. There must be a renegotiation now. They are getting the backing. The government is getting the backing of the AFC and the PNC. They are getting the backing of civil society and the backing of the ordinary Guyanese all across this country. What are they waiting for? What more could a political leader or leaders want? His political competition signaling that they are behind him on the matter of renegotiation. No politician the world over can ask for more than that, man. Can you ask for more than that, bro?
Everybody's supporting you.
Huh? Nothing should be holding back that politician. There is no more excuses. No more. Because you got all the limb to jump on. All the limb to jump on now, Mr. Jagdeo. It's over to you. It's over to you. Come on, man. You getting robbed with a profit sharing agreement. You get robbed with the royalty. You're getting robbed with the taxes. Your clothes being taken off, down to your underwear without ring fencing. Them thieving out your bed sheet, uncle, while you sleeping on it. The clothes you got on your line, you got on the line. While you watching it, it's disappearing before your very eyes. When it comes to the oil expenses, man. Huh? Is what else y'all want them to thief? Huh? Is how much more we here at Kaieteur News can do. How much more I can show you what is happening in this land. How much more all them other concerned citizens can do to wake y'all up as to what is going on in this country, man. And what must we do or they do to correct it. How much more can we do? when the opportunity presented itself on the third project, Payara, uncle, our vice president did nothing and get nothing. That is third mango tree. When the fourth project, Yellowtail, came up, he again did nothing and again didn't get anything on the fourth mango tree. Now the oil company them want approval for the fifth project. Yaru. In December, uncle, this is where President Ali and the vice president can put a stop to the crime of the contract and make it right by calling for a total renegotiation before granting approval. Or no deal.
Exactly.
Or no deal.
Yeah.
Before that fourth project was approved, I had said it was the grandfather of all evil on a program, and no one paid any heed to me. Jagdev approved it. Now with this fifth project, the grandmother of all evil is coming up for approval. Let's wait and see which direction, what course of action this smart, intelligent vice president will take. Going in and approving this fifth project. Uncle, if he walks away again without a substantial plus for the Guyanese people, this would be not only heartbroken, but it will be unthinkable.
Suicidal.
Yes. Suicidal is the word, correct. Thank you. If this fifth project is approved without getting significant benefits for this starving nation, then we might as well pack we bags and run to Suriname. And if them don't want you, then go to Venezuela, as bad as it is right now. Go somewhere. Because you can't get visa to go to Europe or North America. Uncle and auntie, let me say namaste again. And let me tell you people, I really, really love you people. And I want to see you people live a good, happy and decent life. This country has tremendous wealth. Tremendous wealth to have poor people in this country. Every one of you, every home should have already been getting $1 million per month.
Amen.
Per month, with the kind of wealth, the
Amen.
kind of resources we have. Come on. Don't allow them to do you guys this. I told you, I had a robbery at my company, and it hasn't hurt my feelings 1% as to the crimes they're committing against all of us in this country with our resources. You guys gotta wake up, man. Apart from renegotiating this contract for a better deal, protection of our environment is the second most important thing in this country that will affect the lives of the people, all the people in this whole region. We carried a story a few days ago in which we reported every 120,000 barrels of oil they pump when the day come, they dump 120,000 gallons of sewage in our waters from Lisa 1. You hear that, buddy?
Yep.
Every 120,000 barrel is 120,000 gallon of filth they're dumping in the ocean.
Equal amount.
Exxon getting the oil money while Guyana collecting the filth, eating and drinking the filth. Today, Only today, you got those pictures, put it up online. Groups of concerned citizens picketed the EPA head office for failing to protect Guyana. They are calling on the body not to approve any other project without securing adequate protection for every citizen of this region. You hear that? At least those people are fighting for protection. You people who are hungry should be fighting for a better deal. And all Guyana should join them. Had I known yesterday, I would have been there, leading and lending support.
Me too.
The citizens said their rights and protection is more important than the billions ExxonMobil stealing from us. You see how those environmentalists, those are environmental people thinking?
Yes.
They are more concerned about the environment in which we live. The damage the oil and gas industry is doing to the earth, to the atmosphere, to our environment, to which we have to eat, drink, and live. I so love those people. The people today at the protests even ask whether EPA is protecting the Guyanese people, the region people, or if they're protecting the oil companies. That's what they were asking. Uncle, is that same EPA, that same EPA is the one not enforcing the law in which we should be fully protected with insurance coverage before Exxon can pump a drop oil. Is them got to do that? Is them. Jagdeo hiding behind the EPA instead of instructing the EPA to follow the laws of Guyana that he himself put in place. You hear that, Bernard? You guys remember the rigmarole story about the full liability coverage. I don't have to repeat how he took himself out by shifting his responsibility as the head of the oil sector to the EPA. Remember the insurance?
Yes.
He shifted it from him and put it to the EPA. Yeah. You guys also remember how he took himself out of the auditing of Lisa 1 and 2. $9 billion. When he said he was so disappointed he couldn't find people to check and verify the 9 billion bills Exxon handed us for those two projects. You didn't remember that, man?
Yes.
I talked a million times on it. He loves to shift blame, uncle. Yes. He loves to make himself look good in the eyes of the public. So you people will feel he is the good one in between.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He has always been doing things like that. Yes. He always liked to do that. Things like that. To cover his dirtiness and devious schemes. Blaming and insulting public servants for his failures. Man, uncle and auntie, it's 30 years now I am reporting on his leadership style. And nothing has changed. A matter of fact, it gets worse as the days go by. You guys listen to the program I had with him. And you can go back and listen to it. He didn't answer any one of my questions. But he had fancy words flowing from his tongue. Yes, and that's what you people want to hear. Fancy words. Not listening carefully as to the question I asked and the answer he gave. Bernard, Danny,
Yes, sir.
look at this. Jagdeo knows that we don't have the capacity as yet to verify, check, and review these billion-dollar projects. You hear me, man? This man know we don't have people who can verify, check, and review these billion-dollar projects. We don't have. So why is he running ahead? Full speed approving more. Huh? He knows that these projects can never be properly reviewed, verified, and checked in less than a year. With even exports, bro. Even exports. Projects of this magnitude would take minimum 2 years with qualified oil experts. Jagdeo hiring nincompoops with no experience for review these billion-dollar projects for us.
He's conning the nation.
Could you guys fathom this thing, what's happening? He went further the other day to insult this nation, every one of us, when he hired an auditing firm and give them 4 months to check and verify Payara $9 billion. Payara $9 billion American dollar, I'm talking, uncle. Something that international financial institutions said is impossible to get a proper job done to prevent the country from getting robbed. Huh? Uncle and auntie, that audit report, I am told, is completed and handed to the vice president. The media is still waiting to hear a word from him and to see the findings of that report. I can't wait to see it. This will have a lot of laugh and cry in between, because I myself would like to see the many things as to how the company, yes, how that company verify and check $9 billion American dollars within 4 months.
That's Stevie Wonder helping them.
Within 4 months. Like I said, even oil exports, qualified oil exports, who did several review and checks like these projects, couldn't do it. And this firm that he brought in never did a review of any project, much as to do a review of $9 billion American dollar project. Uncle, the fourth $10 billion project, Yellowtail, is still to be audited and verified. And we haven't heard anything about this as yet. You guys understand what is going on here? Huh? 30, 40 billion American dollars, Jagdeo quiet on. We got $3 billion, three, uncle. $3 billion debt we got all we life. And can't pay that. We borrowing money to eat. And we not checking. We not verifying that these bills the oil companies throwing at us in 30, 40 billions. We not checking if it's true or correct. You guys, man, I think I'm going to stop this program. Huh? The things Jagdeo and the leaders of this country are allowing to happen here in Guyana presently, man, it's unthinkable. Approving projects after project, not verifying and checking those inflated billions, allowing the oil companies to do what they please, uncle, is a million times worse than what the African and Asian leaders, along with the foreigners, did to their people and their country. Yeah, man, it is worse. That is why almost half of 1 billion African people living on a daily basis with less than 400 Guyana dollar a day. Man, you guys gotta wake up. And you gotta wake up fast. Or Guyana will find itself. Guyana will find itself. You will find yourselves worse than those people in Asia and Africa. You might not even get 400 Guyana dollar to live with. I am going to stop now and open the phone lines for you to call and share. What are your thoughts on what I have said tonight? I want to hear how you feel and what you're going to do about this barefaced robbery of your future and the future of your children, uncle and auntie. Please, please. Just before I do that, let me give you a quick update on a story we are carrying tomorrow about the Demerara Harbour Bridge. The government said they spent over 1 billion Guyana dollar to repair it. Let me repeat it, man. They said they spent over 1 billion Guyana dollar to repair it. That is 5 million US dollar. When I heard that figure earlier in the day, I had to leave my office and drive over the bridge to see if them replace the damaged steel plates with gold plates. How can anyone justify spending 1,000 million Guyana dollar in 3 days? 1,000 million in 3 days. What on God's earth you can buy for that, uncle? 1,000 million?
New bridge.
What work? What machines? What welding could have cost 1,000 million in 3 days, man? Everybody?
Not that way to do for sure.
I had to see if it was a brand new piece. They fly in with some private jet
Exhaust.
overnight and just had to weld it up. And if they pay $1,000 million for that, well, you could have given in. You understand? But when I look at what they did, you know, when I see the same steel plates put back together, well back together, I said, a driving coming, I said, God help this country. And bless those people too who spend their money on those contractors to fix it back so quick. Yeah, that's all you could say.
Yeah.
God bless them who bless the contractors who fix it back. 1,100 million dollar, uncle, is equal to a 7% salary increase for a whole year for all the public servants. That is the kind of money the government wants us to believe they spend to patch up the bridge in 3 days. Man, are you going to believe this thing, man?
Yeah, not me.
I am getting tired. It's Friday. And I had a hard week.
That's for sure.
Before I go, before I take your calls, let me give you guys an update on the men them that came in and fetch out the Kaieteur safe. They fetch out the safe as if their parents they put it here. 7 men. The 3 that came in the building, along with the security guard that was on duty. Yes. And 3 others. And 3 others, which is 4 and the 3 others. One who lent them the car for come here. One who rent the gun. And a neighbor who hide away the gun. And ammunition in this backyard. Passed through the court today. And they were all remanded to prison till next month. The gun, my gun, the ammunition, and a portion of the money they carried away was recovered by the police. Again, let me repeat, that crime committed against me, my staff and my company did not affect me 1%. 1% as to the crimes committed to this country by the oil companies and our politicians.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Not even 1%. And I swear on my life, what I have lost there, what those men did here, did not affect me 1% as to the crimes being committed on a daily basis in this country by the politicians and our oil companies. Now, I told you guys up front about a tape in which a husband set his wife on fire over a board cage. A board in a cage. I want you guys to listen to the statement this 20-year-old girl gave to the police. You hear that? She is 20-year-old. She got a 2-year-old, an 18-month-year-old child, and a 1-month-old baby. Guys, could you play that tape?
Yes.
And let them hear it, please?
This is Annalie Gonzalez, and I'm giving a statement against my husband Ajay Prasad, People's Kali Nicholas. On the 23rd of August, we had an argument concerning the boxers. He didn't want to go on the road, and the boxers that he want, they didn't dry, they wet, and he started cussing up and throwing down things in the room, and I had enough work to do. I had to look after my baby, I had to make dinner, I had to drop my netting, so I get angry. And I take the cologne bottle and the cream and sun, I start throwing them through the window. And the heights are throwing them through the window. I make the bird cage fall down. So when the bird cage fall down, he start cussing up that if me know how much the bird worth, that nothing in the room is worth it more than the bird. And he go look for the cutlass, but he didn't find it. And then he come back and he opened the ventilated bottle. I went to the bed with my 1-month baby. She did lie down a little part away from me and I just sit down. He opened the ventilated bottle and he threw it on me. When he started throwing it on me, I started stifling. I turned over and lie down on my belly. And before I could have turned around back, the sparky lighter, and I know if it's a lighter, a match or what, but I assume it's a lighter because we don't really use match. He sparked the light on me from behind. When he sparked the lighter, I rolled off the bed because my baby went on the bed. I didn't want she to get born. And the fire started catching. And he threw a sheet on me. When he threw the sheet, the fire didn't out. And he pulled me up. Before he could have pulled me up, the top, they already burned. The meat top that I had on, they already burned off. And I tried pulling off my pants. While I pulling off the pants, he yelled for Ashley. And his sister and I went home. Only she went home with me, she cooking. When he shouted for Ashley, Ashley ran in the room and she scrambled the baby. And he got and he shouted for his mother from the veranda. She went to the street, head not far, and we live in the street. And when he shouted for his mother, she come in. When she come in now, she carry me to the hospital. When she carry me to the hospital, she tell me that lad don't tag the truth that Nicholas burned me. I said that I the boiling porridge and the stove blow up and the porridge burned me. When we go to the hospital now, he get admitted at best and I get transferred to Georgetown. When I get transferred, the ambulance bring me little after the mother come. She didn't inform my parents about nothing. She tell the doctor them she is my mother. The next day, one of her friend come and visit me, a lady named Sabrina. When Sabrina come, he call on Auntie Sabrina phone to talk to me. And he tell me that if I talk the truth, he gonna kill himself and kill me two children them. That's why I never give the correct statement what happened. I dey waiting for go home and get my children them and then talk what you do to me. But after the pain started getting overbearing, I give a statement. And now I feel like giving up the pain just getting more worse and worse. Somebody got to do something about it. Somebody got to do something about it. And I want my children them when I go home. I want my children them. I want my mother to get control over my children them.
This man is sick, man. This man is sick people, boy.
Uncle, auntie, that 20-year-old girl made that statement 2 months after she was set on fire and still in the hospital. She was hoping to recover to take control, as you heard, of her 2 children before reporting the matter to the police, because the husband had threatened to kill himself along with the 2 children if she called his name and tell the truth. She realized that she was not going to make it and decided to make that statement with an appeal for her children to be handed over to her mom. She died. She died this morning. Josh?